Today's card of the day is Ancient Copper Dragon. 4 and a red for creature Elder Dragon with flying. It has whenever Ancient Copper Dragon deals combat damage to a player, roll a d20, you create a nurture tokens equal to the result. 6/5. I think out of all the dragons revealed in the set for Baldur's Gate, this is probably the strongest. I think that's probably mostly due to the fact that it's in red, where red gets the ramp spells to ramp into this, but also the amount of spells that red has that allow you to creatures have haste is just unmatched by other colors. So not only can you get this out fast because it's lowest mana value of all the dragons, but also it gets haste, so you can swing and trigger its ability as soon as possible. The strongest part about these dragons is the fact that their D20 die ability is generally going to be more beneficial and worth the cost of its casting costs, which is rough because a lot of the dragons do have strong abilities. It's just being gated by their mana value is just super rough, on top of the fact that you have to wait a few turn cycles before you can swing with it. But that's not always going to be the case, and I guess maybe it'll be the case most of the time, but it's going to be a little easier to overcome when you're into colors like red or green, which is why I think Ancient Copper Dragon will probably be the best out of the set. Not only that, Ancient Copper Dragon helps facilitate artifact strategies, so perhaps you have some abilities or artifacts that require you to have other artifacts. Maybe you have Inspiring Statuary, I don't forget what the color's name is. This becomes super strong. And it is unfortunate that it is rolling a dice, so it is somewhat of a random effect. Red is also one of the colors that has ways to manipulate die rolling, I believe. And on top of that, rolling a d20 on average is going to be something around 10 to 11 most of the time, plus most of the time. So it's generally going to be worth the cost. Like, you play this for 6 mana, and then you swing, and it's going to get you about 6+ mana most of the time, which I think is worth the cost. Now, is it worth the turn? I don't know. I think maybe it's something you want to cheat out. And then once you do cheat out, you want to make sure you have, I guess, ways of using that mana, because I think a lot of times if you're playing in mono red or something like that, you're going to get a lot of this mana, but if you don't have an outlet, it's going to be pretty rough. Which is probably why it's costed the way it is, being the cheapest of the dragons, and that it doesn't win the game by itself, where the other dragons, I think, seemingly can win the game by themselves. I guess not really. I guess they're all not to be seen in a vacuum, because a lot of these cards sort of just facilitate and help push your deck just past the limit. But yeah, Ancient Copper Dragon, I think it will probably be best in lower mana value, not lower mana value, lower meta decks, probably mid and lower are going to want these cards. I think generally paying for a 6 mana creature is going to be really tough to justify if it's not winning the game immediately. Which generally means you're probably going to be playing this in slower metas where like 6 mana and it swings for a few turns isn't going to be out of the question. So that's probably where this belongs. I think there's something to say about some of the dragons. Maybe this can be said for this dragon too, where reanimation is also another understandable way to play this card, just because 6 mana is just a lot to get to, unless you're playing a lot of fast mana super fast. But even then, it's like you ramp up into this, and it swings for a couple turns here and there. But after swinging, unlike, say, the blue dragon, the card really needs something else to allow it to really be pushed, right? So your commander has to have like some sort of outlet, or you have a lot of synergy with artifacts, or you have to have a lot of mana sinks to use the treasures that you do get from this dragon. Which I guess isn't too crazy, because there are a lot of utility, just permanents in Commander nowadays that, you know what, you're probably not going to just be having them laying around. But there has been a few times where I've just seen people like flooded on mana and whatnot, and this doesn't necessarily fix that. But boy, is it going to feel good when you have all these treasures. Just a few dice stacked on top of each other. It's the most iconic of dragon, especially being red and just bathing in the gold that it's, hoarding. It's iconic, and I think it's a pretty cool card. Anyways, let me know what y'all think about this card, dragon, in the comment below. Is it worth its slot? Is it the best of them all? Are y'all going to be playing it? I think it's probably going to be the second or first best out of the dragons. I don't know. I think it's in contention for being at least top 3 in most people's rankings. But of course, let me know what y'all think in the comments below. I will catch y'all later. And yeah, deuces.